Get away from the fiat currency system. It's trash. Crypto is the new money of the world. It's changed people's lives. People have become multimillionaires. What's going on, everybody? It's K4K Crypto here. And yes, I do have hair all over my face, and it won't be going away until pulsechain mainnet launches. So I don't know when that will be exactly, but if you are following my Twitter, I will tweet it out as soon as I know, and trust me, I will know as soon as possible. If you want to get the earliest updates, check my Twitter and follow, put notifications on. Same with YouTube. I'll probably be doing a live stream almost immediately as it launches, and maybe shaving the huge beard on stream if it becomes large before it launches. So I think that'll be fun. Probably a 24-hour stream. We'll see. It depends exactly where I am at the time, because we might not know until it hits us. For this video, it's going to be about me sharing. I found an old idea for a video. It wasn't even an idea for a video, but it was kind of like a reminder to myself in my notes in my phone of why am I so into this ecosystem, this crypto universe, being here with the Hexicans, being on Team Richard Hart. Like, why am I here making videos, making content for people? Is it like, what's the reason? Why do I do this? And I read through it. I had several paragraphs of, what is my reason for doing this? And it gave me chills when I read it. And I was like, well, maybe I should just make a video on why I do what I do. Why do I share this information with people at scale? Why don't I just keep some of this information to myself? I had realized before I started making videos on this channel that I loved, like, throughout my whole life growing up, I loved researching and finding the best solutions, the best products, the best options around, and nobody else would benefit except myself in the past. Before, except locally, like only my friends or family knew. So I would spend all that time researching, either crypto or researching just the best computer parts, the best anything. And all that stuff that I had spent all that time, it ended up dying inside of me because I didn't share it with the world and make the world a better place by sharing the knowledge that I accumulated and spent, hours of time on. I think it's more worthwhile to share it with as many people as possible and save people the time than just helping myself. That was one of the first things I realized, but what really got me to start making videos, whenever I saw a self-help video by Richard Hart, in the middle of the video, he says something along the lines of, if you know something and you're not an idiot, share it, because the stupid people are already talking as loud as they can. I realized that if there's content out there, and I think there could be either more transformed content or more fun content or more informative, more to the point content. If I thought something was missing, I need to be the thing that fills that gap. I don't need to just be upset at the world that, oh, I wish there was content like this. Why don't I just make the content? So that's what I did, and I started the channel, and the community has been so encouraging throughout this entire journey. I love you guys. We have the most freaking awesome community in all of crypto, probably honestly the rest of the world. Hexkins are, we have our differences and everything, but we all kind of have the same outlook for life and this goal that's bigger than ourselves, that we want to improve the world for everyone involved, not just some special elite class, not just a specific group of people. We want everyone to get on in this crypto game and experience this awesome abundance that we've experienced. And so it feels like I'm a part of something bigger than myself. It gives me purpose. I really enjoy making content, researching this stuff. I'm already doing it anyway. I might as well share it with people. I started making videos about the Hex ecosystem. Richard Hart seems like the guy in crypto who really knows his stuff. He knows more. Every opponent I see him talk to or talk about, you realize almost immediately that Richard knows their side better than they do, and he has the better solutions than those guys think they have for their problem. And so if they're smart, they listen. If anyone listened to Richard Hart when he launched Hex originally, you've experienced life-changing amounts of money, like life-changing gains. People who liked Bitcoin, people who liked Ethereum, if you knew about Richard Hart's project before he launched it or as he launched it, and you didn't look into it, like you missed out on hundreds of X your Ethereum, hundreds of X your Bitcoin. If you had just converted any amount, it multiplied your gain, like your money. So Richard has a proven track record of making amazing products, retired serial entrepreneur, and that was before crypto was invented. The guy seems like the best guy to follow in cryptocurrency, and I just try to explain the best parts of cryptocurrency for others in a way that they can understand the value, and try and break it down in a way that, maybe instead of an 8-hour live stream from Richard, that if you watch the whole thing, maybe you'll understand more. But 8 hours isn't something everybody has. So I try and make these videos, under an hour if I can, and or less, trying to get better at that. I am totally in on Richard's idea that longevity and extending human health span is like the highest calling for my life, because even though my life wasn't the epitome of, excellence and opulence, at the time of him talking about longevity and stuff before Hex was even invented, I was like, you know what, he's right. That is something to work towards. I read Money, Power, and Respect from his Sci-Vive book, because I had never had tons of money or tons of power or tons of respect before. I was learning like insane amounts of information that actually seemed like it would actually help me in my life, which was like, okay, where was this information before? Like, they don't teach you this stuff in school. If you go to college, you can't even buy this information. You can't buy this knowledge. You can only get it for free from a guy who has done basically everything very, very well. And that's what a lot of these, self-improvement books you read are. It's people who have been very successful. Some of them aren't. Some of them are just, rehashes of other stuff. And a lot of it's built on top of each other and improved slightly over the years. But a lot of the things hold true. Like some of the best things you'll ever learn in a self-improvement genre or self-excellence, whatever you want to call it, is basically delaying gratification. Basically the building block of getting anything long-term happiness-wise, long-term goal setting, it all requires delayed gratification. And Richard Hart built a crypto with that ingrained in its code permanently, immutable. It can't be changed. It can't be updated and ruined by an update. It can't be updated. And it's been working flawlessly for almost over 1,000 days now. I think it's actually over 1,000 days. Over 2 years. I think we're coming up on our 3rd year. I don't think we have it quite yet, but he's made amazing stuff. And I was like, I want to get my ideas out there with the community to see if I've got, maybe I've got wonky ideas. Maybe I think something that is well thought out, get it in front of 1,000 people. Maybe 1,000 people are smarter than one person. So that was my idea going into this, was that the power of all of us is more than one of us, and we can all figure out this crypto thing together. And I was like, well, if no one else is trying to figure out this higher end, harder stuff, I'll take a crack at it. And so that's what my earliest videos were about. We're trying to figure out the most hard to understand stuff relating to pulsechain, pulsex, just understanding the mechanics of it all. How will this actually play out? I really wanted to dive deep into that to help my own understanding. And so by sharing that with everybody, I got feedback and helped my understanding. People wanted to help. Like I said, the community has been the absolute best. That had been, my journey for so long. I've been really enjoying it. I thought school was silly. I thought it was a big waste of time. I did college for a little bit, and then I was like, going into debt and not really having this direct idea to, monetization through college. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start working, gather my money, and I'll invest it. And if I figure out what my passion is along the way, perfect. This is where I am now. I invested. I got deeper into crypto after I learned about investing. And since I had money, because I didn't go into debt, that's worked out great. I've been so into this crypto and changing the world's money and fixing that system to a more fair system. Even if we're in early stages of the tech, I do think it can scale to that. And I think Richard Hart is doing that with pulsechain. If you go to pulsechain.com, you can read about it. He seems to be fixing all the problems of crypto the way he knows best, and so far it's worked with his first project. So we're about to see pulsechain and pulsex launch in coming months, and I'm very excited about that. I realized that, you know, going to school wasn't gonna make me the big bucks. Of course, some people do go to school and they make huge amounts of money afterwards, or they get doctorates and they're like the highest in their field, or sometimes you need to go to school to get a certification or something like that. But that wasn't what I wanted to do. I ended up quitting video games, and I set myself on a path of self-improvement, forward thinking I never thought I'd be able to do. I probably got started on the wrong foot because I used to lower my expectations of life, so you can't be disappointed. You know, where does that leave you? With a very low bar and very low expectations and low output usually as well. I started giving myself better goals, you know, start a channel, start making videos, get some feedback, make the videos better, improve over time. And this whole process has been very fulfilling for me. I really enjoy making content, helping people, and I get thank yous almost every day, either through email or through direct message. If I don't get to you guys direct message, don't hate me. I'm trying to find the right times of the day to be able to go through that stuff. As the channel grows and stuff like that, it's going to be harder and harder, and I hope you guys understand and are okay if I don't get back to you right away, but I try to. I want to basically encourage everybody else in the community, or anyone thinking about making content, or they feel like crypto is like the place they want to be and the place they want to thrive and grow in, and it actually makes them feel like they have purpose in this life, because that's what it was for me. Because something always felt wrong with the way the system was, you know, growing up, going into the job field and all this, and you're like, this doesn't pay out. It just didn't seem to work out. Then you realize about investing, and once you understand it more and what actually controls these prices and stuff like that, you're like, wait, this is okay. I understand the game now. That's how it was for me. And so I'm trying to, like, with my channel, I want to help people get the best understanding of crypto and finance, the stock market, understanding investing in general, and why it's so impressive and why it's so lucrative to be in crypto, especially in its booming ages here, where like we just only 2 years ago kind of invented decentralized exchange. That literally just came about. It's so new. It's a completely growing, like exponentially growing. I think it like 8x'd the volume in 1 year on all the exchanges, decentralized exchange. It's just basically brand new, 2-year new technology. It's world changing. It's a miracle. It's available, and we're creating newer, better versions of it constantly. Richard Hart's got his version. There's the Uniswap team. There's the Binance people. They're building stuff. There's the AVAX people. They all are using these decentralized systems because there's tons of value to be gained. And so my goal is to get as much of that useful information in the eyes, in front of the eyes of all the people who need to hear that. It is easy to make money in crypto if you find the right crypto and you know just to hold it. Maybe there's this little function where you stake it and you can earn more. And if it's trustless and there's no admin keys, that's the stuff you want to be in. Hold your wealth there. You basically are playing the game just like everybody else who is in the stock market, people who hold assets that they hope appreciate. Everyone is playing the same game. Crypto just does it better than everything else by magnitudes more. Bitcoin went from a penny to $69,000 each. It's done like, is that 66.9 million X return? That means if you put in $1 when it was a penny just 12 years ago, you have $6.9 million from 12 years of waiting and $1 investment. That's pretty good. Nothing else in the world that we know of has ever had that return. It's like the best return of all time, I think. And Hex has done, 10,000x in less than, was it 1.5? It was like 1.5 years, actually. It was like crazy. That did 10,000x. And so we're likely to see maybe another 10,000x. You know, we have decades to go before some people, end certain stakes and get their return. So there's going to be people in this community for decades out at a time. At any moment, there's going to be people who are waiting a decade to see their investment grow. And if you look back a decade in the stock market, you're going to see how much stuff has gone up. And same with crypto. Look at a decade ago for Bitcoin. That's basically a penny. Oh, and then they waited and then, okay, just experience a 6.9 million X return. Maybe that could happen to you. Maybe that could change your life. But people aren't going to have this life-changing wealth happen to them if they don't hear about it. And so I want everyone I know to be happy, healthy, and wise. And so I put out content that hopefully gets them there, you know. Sometimes I'll make other videos that I'm hoping to get a different audience, and so maybe it doesn't hit as hard at first, but I'm hoping will be picked up later in the future. And I have all these other ideas for ways that we can increase, eyes on the crypto space. But we want people to get into real crypto because we hear about people getting scammed and hacked for millions of dollars constantly. Like we just had another bridge hack. Nomad Bridge got hacked for $200 million. Well, what does the normal layperson think whenever they hear, oh, crypto hacked 200 million? They're like, wow, glad I didn't invest in crypto. But what? They got wrecked doing something they probably shouldn't have been doing. They're also using like untested new software. It's not stuff you really want to be putting lots of money in. And you also hear about people getting hacked trying out, untested code or stuff with admin keys like Celsius, where they tell you that your stuff's safe. Just give them your money, your keys to your crypto, and then you can make a small amount of yield. And normal people think that's more reasonable because, oh, it's just 8% yield or this or that. The thing about crypto is you actually 100% own your asset when you have it in your own possession. So when you give it to somebody else, they have that full 100%. They own it. If you give up that access, you may not get it back because it's known as counterparty risk. And a lot of people don't have to worry about that in their day-to-day life. Tell the average person, hey, what do you think about counterparty risk? They're like, probably say, what's that? They've probably never, if you haven't dealt with large amounts of either assets or something that are in someone else's custody and you need it back, then you probably have never had to deal with counterparty risk or escrow or anything like that. But that's one of the biggest benefits and values of crypto in general is having no counterparty risk on your asset that appreciates in value. And now that we have decentralized exchange, you don't even have to risk whenever you go to sell to either get to a stable coin, which is, tied to the dollar if that's what you want. And you can always get your crypto out to real dollars. That's the one thing a lot of people are worried about in crypto. You don't even have to risk being on a centralized exchange to buy and purchase cryptos. You're not at risk that whole time. You're never at risk until you try to just switch from, say you switched out to stablecoin. Whenever you go to get your dollars back out, you have to be on the exchange for like 1 day, as opposed to you used to have to keep your coins constantly on exchange because you wanted them to be there for when you wanted to trade. But now you can keep them in your own wallet, completely controlled by you, nobody else. Trade with the centralized exchange where you instantly get the coins that you wanted. They get traded into a pool and you get the coins out that you wanted and your other coins you traded for are now in the pool. That's like an amazing discovery for being able to trade digital assets without having somebody else holding your stuff and potentially never giving it back to you. If you never invest in crypto, I feel like you're going to be left behind. What a lot of people hear are the headlines, and that wrecks them. Because if I only heard the headlines of crypto, it'd probably be wrecked too. But that's why I do the deeper knowledge diving. I listen to Richard Hart, who basically has a team of developers in the space and is basically a developer himself and has been around since the very beginning. That's the person that I really respect his opinion on things, his ideas, and how it moves forward. And he has a proven track record of making returns for people who invest in his products. And so I think getting people into the right stuff can be life-changing. It can be world-changing. And I want to be a part of world-changing innovation. I'm happy to be a part of the highest appreciating asset class in history. Like, I am totally down to be in this asset class and helping people learn about it. You know, it's basically it's gonna be a tough road onboarding people because you know those conversations they get awkward. There's misunderstandings. That's why I'm just to constantly make content to try and find every way of helping people understand this new economy. That's what I want to do. I also really wanted to encourage everybody who may have felt like me in the past, how I was in the past, where you know you're worried about starting the channel, or you don't yet have the discipline to make yourself sit down and make a video. You know, these are little things that you have to get over, and I want to encourage people, if this is really what you care about, then go ahead and do it. It'll pay off. You'll enjoy yourself, you'll feel fulfilled, and that's worth more than any amount of money in the world. That's all the mental gymnastics I had to do before I could sit down and make a single YouTube video originally. But hey, progress is progress, and you know, I'm happy with where the channel's at right now. I'm very happy with the community. You know, I haven't been making very many videos lately. You know, growing out the beard for fun, for the, you know, no shaving until pulsechain launch. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, I have tons of ideas for videos. I've just been working through lots of life stuff right now. You know, I've met someone and we're having a great time together. They make me very happy. And we've been spending, you know, more time together as opposed to before. I had been making tons and tons of videos, you know, during the testnet. And those are really helpful for people. I think a lot of people should be using the testnet before mainnet so that you know exactly what you're doing, how to bridge in coins, stuff like that. I hope this video's been helpful and encouraging to others who think how I used to think, and perhaps you may see a path towards breaking through yourself and trying an interesting strategy, possibly towards achieving higher and loftier goals for yourself than what you've been accomplishing in the past. I hope this video was like the extra kick in the butt to give you the encouragement to start making content, because I think you'll feel better about yourself. I think you'll learn more, you'll become more knowledgeable, more confident, more happy all around. I think if you ask better questions, you get better answers. Your brain basically gives you an answer either way. Ask your brain a question, something will pop up. I like to ask questions like, why is this going to work out so well? And then your brain's like, oh, here's why it might work out well. Here's why it might work out as well over here. You know, if you ask questions like, why won't this work? Well, guess what? Your brain's going to come up with an idea and an answer of why that won't work. You know, it's really important what you focus on and what you talk to yourself internally about. In order to keep yourself focused on your goals, I think it's important to reflect. And actually, I really enjoy working on myself, and I've been doing that the past few days. That's what's kind of allowed me to go through basically all my video ideas and kind of organize them. And so hopefully in the next few days, I'll be able to make some more content for you guys. Super excited, actually, to get back into a nice routine and start making content, being on shows, stuff like that. So thanks for sticking with me, guys. The goal is still 1 million subscribers. We've just been taking a little hiatus here. I think it's important to, you know, tailor your focus to the good and constructive, as opposed to like the bad and destructive. I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you for watching, and peace.